Hello everyone, and welcome back to Two Bros Game Night. I am your host, Older Bro.
I'm your other host, Younger Bro.
And today we continue in, actually, the National Park Girls. Because they're finally here.
It took, how many episodes? 4?
I think this is 3.
3?
Unclear.
Yeah, I think it's 3. Yeah. No, 4.
Maybe. Unclear. Anyways. I don't know how you're pulling off these magic tricks, but trouble is trouble. And you three are definitely trouble. I spin around and start for the desk. I think that line was in the last one, but I'm reading it anyways because I don't remember. Panic warps Yellowstone's face as she switches between me and Yosemite. That doesn't look so much like panic, more just like, sad, no. The kettle whistles above her, until finally she decides to hand it off to Yosemite.
Also, never mind. I was gonna ask who's voicing all these characters. Well, the game.
She snatches my wrist. The fumes from her head puff behind her as I try to pull myself away.
Let go!
Oh, that actually did almost sound like somebody was struggling with you.
Do you just not believe us?
No, not really.
I don't believe you. I don't trust you. And most importantly, I
I
don't,
don't
want
want to deal with you.
I mean, that's valid. This girl is literally a fucking angel. My feet drag as I tug her behind me. To be fair, right now it looks like she's riding on your back. Her grip is surprisingly firm. With each step, she squeezes harder until I can feel her fingers pressing into my bone.
Ooh.
What if I can prove it?
Don't bother. Just get your painting and the rest of your stuff. We need to go away for a while.
She ignores Yosemite and keeps pulling, digging her heels into the floor. Her grunts get more pained as she wraps another hand around my forearm.
Please! Just a chance!
Our conga line! Wait, the other two are behind? Our conga line passes Zion and Pup. Or are you saying it's a conga line of 2 people? Pup's tail wags as he looks to her, waiting for scratches and pets. Zion looks up at me with her big sorrowful eyes that only seem to get bluer as she gets sadder. None of these girls have black pupils. Pup paws at her dress. His ears flop. A single heartstring inside me tingles. Tingles?
Okay.
That's a... I don't...
Strums.
Yeah.
They didn't want to say strums, so they're like tingles.
There's the fiddle again. That fiddle again. I sigh, stopping before Yellowstone can yank my arm from its socket.
Ooh.
Further. I love that puppy too much.
30 seconds.
Yellowstone smirks. A twinkle sparkles in her eye. Gripping my wrist together, she turns to Yosemite.
Back in a jiffy!
Back in a jiff. Wait! Yellowstone!
Uh-oh.
Static crackles through my vision. The ground gives way beneath me, and I plummet down. Down, 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 to a dreaded room of nothingness. Hopeless dread. Hold on. Hopeless dread washes over me like a smothering wave. I suddenly become Monokuma! And then darkness. Howling wind blasts through my hair. I hear leaves rustle as the air whips past my cheek. My legs dangle below me. I look down. I wish I hadn't looked down. Far below me, a thick forest sprouts from the jagged side of a mountain. Hundreds of feet of air between me and the bottom.
Hey, how's it hanging?
Now's not the good time for that! I look up to see Yellowstone peering over the cliff, still holding my arm. The moonlight spotlights her gigantic grin.
Oh, God!
Yeah.
Cool view, right? Do you believe me now?
I flip my head in all directions, but all I see are far-off silhouettes of other hills and mountains, all of which look like anthills from up here. The scream finally breaks through, louder than I knew I had in me, higher too. It travels far into the distance.
Help, pull me up! Whoa, stop moving so much! I'm gonna lose my grip!
Don't let go. Don't let go.
I'm not trying to! My body swings like a pendulum. I grip Yellowstone's hand tighter.
Aw, you don't like it?
I never liked heights.
Now take me back.
She whines, puffing her cheeks out as she pouts.
Jeez Louise, don't flip your wig.
This
Stop
is natural hair.
Yeah. Also, stop being New Yorker. I'm pulled upwards like I'm being sucked up by a vacuum. The wind tunnels around me. And then I'm back in the cabin. The warmth feels like a hug.
What kind of Five Nights at Freddy's shit am I in?
I'm gonna guess that they jumped to the paintings. And my legs feel like jelly. We did specifically say, oh look, it's the fast travel. I drop to my knees and catch my shallow breath. Yosemite paces around the room, stopping in her tracks as soon as she sees us.
You! Is your brain made of mush? What were you thinking?
To prove, she's trying to prove.
I proved a point.
Yeah.
Yellowstone sticks her arms out like the wings of a plane and spins around the room. Zion giggles as Yellowstone circles around her. By the way, guys, I did look it up, and actually Yellowstone is older than Yosemite, so this has nothing to do with age.
Oh.
So.
Knew it.
Pup sits impatiently below them, his tail sweeping back and forth across the floor.
That I can make her believe, duh. I think it worked out pretty well.
You need to calm down.
This is interesting animation.
Does she look well to you?
I didn't say she looked well, I said it worked out well.
Seriously, you're going to give her PTSD.
My teeth chatter as I try to warm myself. I am shaking. My entire body's shaking.
I was here, and then I wasn't, and now I'm... Oh god.
Yep, she has PTSD.
The plane runs out of jet fuel and Yellowstone stops.
No. But I thought we could finally...
That's pretty good.
Listen to me.
Her voice is sharp and serious. Zion winces. She squats down and grips Yellowstone's shoulders, meeting her at eye level.
What if something happened? What if she got lost or hurt? What would you have done then? Or
Turn
worse,
back time.
what if something had happened to you? There's a reason
What?
I try to keep us hidden.
What would have happened to
You know
her?
what they're capable of. What they can do.
She mutters to herself.
Of course, that's all out the window now.
Technically, it's out the painting. The cheerfulness leaking out of Yellowstone seems to have dried up. Yosemite's grip on her loosens, and she shrinks away.
Guess I messed up pretty bad again, huh?
Again?
Yosemite just gives a deep sigh. It reminds me of a disappointed parent. Zion tugs at Yellowstone's hand.
I think you did a good job, Yellowstone.
Yellowstone gazes down at her with a sad smile and squeezes her hand back. A long yawn squeaks out of Zion, high enough that only the tail end of it is audible. By the way, I would just like to point out that these are the last national parks on the list of national parks. Like, they're
What?
alphabetically, they are the last
No
three.
way.
There's no other fucking, like, it's just like, you have to go further up from here.
That's amazing.
Looks like someone's sleepy.
She rubs her tired eyes and nods.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yes.
you have to sleep? Interesting.
I mean, they're spirits. They're not, like, deities. Yosemite combs her fingers through Zion's fairy tale hair.
Get her ready for bed while the human and I negotiate.
Okie dokie.
Negotiate.
Negotiation implies giving an inch, and I don't think you can give an inch. That's the saddest okie dokie I've ever heard.
If you say so.
I'll be right there to tuck you in. Might even tell you that story about the swallow you like so much.
Where the fuck is the bed in this house?
Swallow
The
story?
couch can be
I don't
made into a
remember
bed.
that one.
Are they upstairs?
No, there's a bed. I think it's in this corner over here.
For a moment, Yosemite freezes. Then she shakes out a chuckle.
No, of course. Why would you?
Leading her by the hand, Yellowstone
Yeah, see.
pulls Zion along to the bathroom. Pup trots along behind them.
Hey, get back here!
When the door shuts, Yosemite turns back to me. Her posture stiffens, perfectly straight, and all business as she walks over to me.
You alive?
She towers over me like a giant sequoia. I don't think I've ever seen a sequoia with blue hair. I feel her footsteps vibrate beneath me as she gets closer.
Just leave me alone!
This is still one house, right? So they're just, like, slightly over in the other side of the room.
Yeah, this is still one.
Like,
Little
they're in the
small
bathroom, I
cabin.
guess?
This is like, they're in the closet.
I crawl to the nearest corner and hunker down, using one of Zion's fallen branches as a shield.
Relax.
It's a stick.
I'm not actually going to eat you, or whatever you think I planned on doing.
I hurl the branch at her. It skims past her shoulder. I have a good throw, but terrible aim.
I don't care! Just go!
A lump catches in my throat. I look around at the mess that's been made, the streaks of water on the floor, the tossed away gun, and the open cabinets. I take a look at the whole cabin, small and homey, but I still know what it's really for. It's a purgatory. A sanitarium to clean me of any lingering pride. This is my punishment. And if that's the case, then maybe it's not actually a purgatory. No, if it's punishment, it's hell. Purgatory is just eternal nothingness.
Yeah,
It's
you want to be able to see anything.
it's waiting. It's a waiting room. Maybe it's actually hell. Yeah, there you go. I bring my head to my knees and keep it there.
Hey, are you okay? I'm sorry about that stunt she pulled. Yellowstone always gets too excited for her own good.
Ah, so that's why there's so many geysers.
And now I'm knee deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and I don't seem fair.
Yeah.
On a worrying world and that will reach my chair.
None of these national parks are anywhere near the ocean.
I know.
Her voice softens, well, actually one of them is in California, but whatever. Her voice softens, sounding more like she's talking to Zion than a foolish mortal.
Just leave. Please.
You know what? You need a hug. I swallow back the emotion, but my voice still
I
cracks.
just want today to end.
Hug.
I'm tired.
She swoops down in front of me.
Well, you're in luck, because I have a truce to propose.
Uh-oh.
I look up from my knees and sniff. Yosemite is inches away from my face. She gives me a gentle grin. If this is a romance, she'd make out with me right now.
Your great romance.
I'm listening.
To get right down to it, we're exhausted too. It's been a long day for us, so how about we let you sleep here for the night, and then, in the morning, you can call your supervisor and send us on our way.
You think I'm dumb enough to fall for that? You'll murder me in my
In
sleep.
my sleep.
Look, we don't actually kill any people. We just make them run off.
In the time it would take to strangle you, I could read half of an entire book. Why waste my time with it? Besides, wouldn't you rather not have 3 trespassers wandering the park at night?
She's not wrong. I have the campground to think about too. If they started causing trouble with campers, then this could spiral even further out of control.
Look, just take the olive branch. I'm trying to play nice.
None of you have olives in your parks. I guarantee that.
Hmm.
They do not grow in any of your climates. I think about it for a moment. How I might wake up being smothered by a pillow. How I might not even wake up at all. Or if I do, how they might not even be here at all. All of these options would still mean would be far more likely than the actual one that happens. But it's dark and late, and my brain is slush and fog. So I humor her.
I'm not going to get a bullet to the face while sleeping, am I?
I don't like guns. They're
Only
worthless.
Neanderthals use guns. I think you're proof enough of that.
It's an
I'm
insult.
sorry.
She chuckles. It's not very funny to me. I think again.
And I get the bed?
Absolutely not.
No.
Her joking smile is stripped away. She sighs.
I guess there are sleeping bags around here we can use. So what do you say? Do we have a deal? Or is this night going to get even longer?
I'm pretty sure it's already like 5:30 in the morning. She extends her hand, and for the first time I notice her ears poking out from under her hair. Both are slender and pointed, with tips as sharp as daggers, because she's a fucking elf. I don't know who these people are, or what they are, but I do know I need some sleep. I grab her warm hand, and she hoists me to my feet.
You've got yourself a deal, but you're out of here first thing in the morning.
You will never ask us to leave. Bet you $100.
Achievement.
Cabin fever.
More than a fever, it's a fucking storm.
A warm wetness slops against my cheek. Humid breath sticks to my face. My eyes crust open. No, they were crusted closed. Now you're opening them.
You're opening it.
And drift to the edge of my bed. With this...
What the shit? Oh.
Yeah, that'd be more of the ceiling. With his front paws perched on the comforter, Pup continues breathing in my face. His wild tongue dangles below his jaw. Yep.
It can't seriously be morning yet.
I mean, you only went to bed at 5:30 in the morning. He pushes himself off the bed and scampers away, sliding across the floor like it's an ice rink. Childish giggles fill the room, and now the familiar sounds of wings flapping like an overworked engine follows. Zion huffs and puffs her way around the corner. Pup runs behind her. I couldn't have slept for more than an hour. The nightstand's clock seems to confirm this, as foggy memories of me glancing between it and the intruders tucked away in their sleeping bags come back to me. 3:30, 3:45, 4:25, and finally 6:30. I feel like Goldilocks if she tried sleeping on the beds of the bears, and the bears were hibernating in the corner, just testing her luck until she eventually gets mauled. I peel myself out of bed and draw shut the curtain that divides the room. When I'm done changing into my uniform, I slip back out and catch a whiff of something delicious.
Good morning, Miss Eve.
Zion stops playing with Pup to give me a courteous bow. This girl is like 3,000 years out of date. Through the open window, a bluebird flutters in and rests on her shoulder. I already wish I was back in bed.
Rise and shine, Eve who works here. Catch all your Z's?
If you say
No.
so. What are these, and when can I catch them?
Oh god, you were up way too late. Yellowstone peeks out from the kitchen,
Black is
whisking a bowl in steady circles.
Black is liquor.
Wait, she's the cook? Once again, a kettle rests on her head. That's just...
They must have slipped through my fingers.
Or out of your mouth. When you aren't shifting around, you sound like a broken trombone.
I glare over the table. Yosemite is chin deep in a book and sifting through the pages. Papers litter the table, some sprawled out like a shuffled deck of cards, others stacked into leaning towers. The cardboard box sits right in the middle, acting as an eye to the storm. Without taking her eyes off the book, she raises a coffee mug in the air. Wait, is she reading your journals?
Yellowstone. Tea.
Just a jiff.
Yellowstone power walks over. Balancing a bowl in her arm, she tips her head and pours the water. From the kettle to the cup, the process is delicate, like a ballerina bending into the shape of a swan. Nonetheless, through the teetering and tottering, the kettle stays balanced on top of her head cone.
Want me to
Somehow.
replace the bag? It's pretty much water now.
Don't
Wait,
be wasteful.
There's a bag?
There's still some flavor left.
Fine, fine.
I thought she just literally summoned grass to be in the bowl to make tea.
I don't
Whatever.
know.
Yellowstone gives a deafened sigh, the same one I give every time I have to tell someone, yes, you need a permit to fish. By the way, guys, you need a permit to fish. If it's not your property, it's off limits.
How about you, Eve? I saw you chugging coffee last night. Bet you take a black, huh? You seem like the type of cat who takes a black.
There's a pause as I try to get a
I don't
handle
drink at
on this
all.
stitched together conversation or combination of English and slang.
Frankenstein of language.
Okay, first off, English and slang is modern language. This is 1920s New Yorker and modern day teenager.
With a little sugar, actually.
Dang, thought I had it.
She snaps her fingers as she returns to the kitchen.
Oh well. Hop a squat. I'll get you a cup.
Squat a what?
Nani?
That's way out of date, girl.
She means sit down.
Maybe you should sit down.
She's playing
No
with
can
Puff,
do.
okay?
I have my job to take care of. Patrolling, permits, calls.
Tattling on us.
Her eyebrows bounce up as she takes a sip of her tea.
Priority number 1, I assure you.
I give her a phony smile that lapses into an eye roll. I hope she sees it. She's right, though. I completely slipped my mind. I guess when it became clear that they probably weren't going to kill me, my mind started drifting to more abstract questions.
You can do all that later. Just breathe in that fresh morning air for now. I'm making flapjacks.
That would be the line that was on the video that made me want to play this game.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm making flags.
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah,
yummy.
and then the yay. It's just so fucking bored. Except her quiet cheer doesn't match her solemn face.
Don't
Yeah,
worry,
her face
cutie.
says it's gonna burn
I'm
them.
making you a veggie omelet.
Oh, so apparently, Zion is a vegan. Zion's downtrodden face lights up. The reason I'm saying it's a vegan is because pancakes are very much not made of, like, animal meat, so they are only made of fat. So it must be, she must be vegan, otherwise she wouldn't have a complaint.
Yeah.
Zion's downtrodden face lights up, hopeful but cautious.
Will you use the mushrooms I picked the other day? I can if you go get them for me.
Yay.
Excited nod, Zion shuffles off to the closet. And where Zion goes, Pup follows. The bird does too.
Remember to wash them!
Yosemite calls out, but neither answer. Her or the dog?
Why would the dog wash it? Whatever.
Unclear. Zion digs around in the closet. Yellowstone hums to herself, out of tune and off
It
key.
should be Yosemite calls out, but Zion doesn't answer. Or she doesn't hear an answer.
Yosemite calls out. Okay, I goddamn swear we've already done this exact same thing where you
know.
asked a question about this fucking line, and I sat here and analyzed this fucking line for 5 minutes.
No, we've maybe a similar line.
In a very similar game.
Look, this guy just goes into too much detail, so maybe we're thinking too much into some of his writing.
I think that the neither is Yellowstone and Zion.
Okay, here's the main question. Was this written by a guy?
Fine. Don't cry to me when your stomach starts growing fungus.
That sounds like a problem. The frying pan sizzles in the background as everyone goes about their morning, swept up in their routines, while I'm swept to the side. With not a whole lot else to do, except fear for my life, and let's be honest, there's not a whole lot left to fear for anyways. I grab my notebook and sit at the table. Yeah, what the fuck are you gonna tell Theodore Roosevelt about this shit? Since it's round, I have no choice but to face Yosemite. If it bothers her as much as it bothers me, then she doesn't show it. She grabs a blank paper from a wobbling stack and starts scribbling on it, constantly referring back to her book. Sharing a meal with a person or thing that tried to run me out of my post doesn't exactly thrill me. Having to stare at them the entire time, even less so. Still, I make an attempt to clear my mind and start jotting down the events from last night, which are numerous. But my uniform is tight and restrictive, and squeezes around my joints and chest like a python. My writing is similarly uncomfortable and stiff, reading more like a report to Jesse than a deep emotional expression to Teddy. Not that there's much of that left in me anyway. The assailant exited the closet. The perpetrator wrestled the gun from me. These are just a few examples. It is accurate, coherent enough to get the information across, definitely, but just dry enough to be vague and frustrating. Yeah, I know about being vague and frustrated. I experienced it, and even I hardly know what happened. I hardly know what they are. They aren't ghosts, and I'm an idiot for buying that, even for as briefly as I did. But they aren't human either, although after their ears, their wings, and volcano heads, they may as well be people.
Some sugar or sugar.
No, you don't get to
Or
call me that.
everything nice.
Yellowstone sits down a cup of coffee in front of me, a trail of grainy sugar still swirling around in it. There's an explosive pop from the kitchen. Smoke plumes from the frying pan.
My flapjacks!
Oh, that's sad.
No.
She rushes over like an overworked waitress at a diner and lowers the heat. And me, I feel like a traveler exploring the cosmos. I found an alien society, and everything they do is fascinating and how mundane it is. Yeah, would you believe that in most alien societies, people still get up, have some drink to get themselves awake, and go off to fucking work?
It's not polite to stare. If we freak you out that much, you can turn around. Or leave. That would work too.
Get the
You'd
fuck
like
outta here.
that, huh? For me to leave you alone so you can just keep mooching off this place.
Are you expecting a no? All the other goons always ran off to the outpost down the road as soon as they caught wind of us. Only ever came back if they had to get something. And never alone.
Any of that sympathy from last night has evaporated with the steam from her tea. All that's left is her condescending smirk. It drives me nuts, and I'm just a little bit wet.
Well, I'm not like the others. Thank God. It doesn't take much to scare the apathy into them.
But not you, huh?
Oh no, I am too
I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, I'm too.
I am weighing my options.
Yeah. I throw back the coffee like it's the nastiest double shot this side of happy hour. The scalding liquid funnels down my throat. Then I surrender to my journal. Yosemite watches me with focused squint.
What's that? Official report to the head goon.
The lead at the tip of my pencil snaps under the force, leaving a skid mark streaking across the page. I frown.
Journal. Sorry to disappoint.
Her ears twitch at the mention of a journal, because that's something
Oh.
she can read.
What kind of journal? For documenting information? Studies?
This girl
Personal
is...
journal.
Yeah.
Just a journal. I use it to wring out the last few drips of dams I give. Anchored to reality.
That's a good line.
Does
I
any
love
of these
that.
parks have dams? I'm pretty sure not. I look up at her, tracing my way from her black roots to her blue hair, down to the frosted white tips. They're not even white!
What? What? Yeah, they're not white.
Like-
It's all blue. Why is this so hard to understand?
Look-
First it was in Arceus where they were saying it's a white striped basculin, and now in this game, it's white striped hair. It's light fucking blue. It's
Her
not
hair looks
this
like a
hard.
waterfall pouring over a cliff, except there still isn't white in it.
And boy oh boy, do I need that.
Oh my god, they're thinking it's white because they are remembering like animations of waterfalls where
Yes,
the water
But they-
coming off.
but they
is
forgot that they needed to also animate that on the character by making the tips white.
white. Yeah, just make this like puff. Maybe they didn't want to do that.
No.
They like when I imagine a girl having water hair, I'm thinking of the girls from Adventure Time.
Mm-hmm.
Those
That's distinctly way more animated than a visual novel can possibly be.
I know, but still.
She deflates, as if I'm the one responsible for sucking out all the wonder and curiosity in the world. I mean, you did. That is what you just did. So, yes!
Suppose I should be proud of you, though.
Oh.
I keep writing. Don't even bother to look up.
After all, how many of you suits actually know how to write?
Fuck.
Wow, you know what? Yosemite might actually make a very good candidate for Two Bros Game Night.
Look, we're not that much of an asshole.
Yeah, it makes us look better by comparison.
Instant nomination.
God damn it, I can't help myself.
You think we're dumb?
I think you're uneducated.
That's
Fuck.
valid.
Look,
I mean,
I'm
she's
not
an American.
wild about my coworkers either,
Glad we're in agreement.
but give us some credit. Or at least give me credit. You know what a school is, right?
Something I assume you didn't go to?
Oh, God.
No. For me, school was years worth of crap I had to sludge through to even get a sniff.
And was it worth it?
The question is like a splash of cold water to the face. It forces me to decide on whether I want to give the easy answer or the answer that lurks in the back of my heart.
Popular opinion is a giant no. It might be if people cared, but they don't. And even if I thought it was, if those people are the ones I'm protecting this land for, nothing will ever make it worth it.
Yosemite yawns, her face slumped against her cheek in boredom. She returns to her book.
Wow. I was almost expecting something insightful.
Don't like the answers? Don't ask the questions.
Valid.
Hey, I think she gave plenty of insight, but then again, I'm an idiot. As she
You're an
rightly points
idiot.
out.
It's not the answers that bother me. It's the rotten little mind behind them.
Lightning cracks between us. That you are not animated enough to do this anime scene. We glare at each other in silence. My eyes will roll out of my head before I blink.
You two can duke it out after breakfast. Time to chow down.
Yeah, you and your girlfriend can go on an adventure later as you go and give your citations and whatever else.
You liked Al Capone movies when you were young, didn't you?
She is an Al Capone movie. Yellowstone swoops in with 2 plates of fluffy, stacked pancakes that were definitely burned a few minutes ago. A thin slice of butter
She
slides
had to
across
redo 'em.
both of them, melting down the sides and mixing with the syrup. I poke at the pancakes with a fork. Is this poison? It seems safe. In fact, it looks delicious. Like a picture ripped straight out of a menu. Did you literally take this out of a menu? Before you get the real soggy thing. Cutting a pie-shaped sliver off, I dip it... A pie-shaped... It's a fucking pancake! Like...
What, did she cut it into a pie shape?
Are we talking tiny pancakes? To be a pie shape, you had to go through the center. How fucking big is this slice?
Oh, I think I know what she's saying. She's saying she's cutting it into, like... Sort
yeah,
of
like a shape, like a pie.
Yeah.
But that has to go through the center. So either these are really tiny pancakes, which is sad, or these are really big pancakes and the slice is a fucking pizza slice. Like, what
I think it's a pizza
what the
slice.
hell?
I think that's what
I dip it
saying.
into the shallow pools of syrup that's accumulated at the sides of the plate. That's overanalyzing. Why not? If it's poison, at least it's going to taste amazing. You can't prove that. I take the plunge. Warm sugar
And
drizzles
then I
down my
die.
tongue. The rich butter oozes out of the pancakes as I chew. There's a hint of crispiness from the slightly charged rings around the sides of the
This sounds
cake,
like a food
balancing
critic
out the taste of the sugar.
analysis.
It practically dissolves in my mouth. And meanwhile, I'm still sitting here like, why is it taking us a whole episode to describe a fucking pancake? I swallow.
Wow.
Holy...
Please don't get off on the pancakes. A moan slips out of me, almost a gasp.
It's almost like the girl getting off to her drinks.
It is. It would be embarrassing if this weren't so shocking. Or delicious. Oh. Yellowstone giggles.
Like it?
No, in fact, I actually...
Unable to resist, I dive in for the next piece. I nod as I talk through the food.
Yeah, it's sort of amazing. How did you even...
I'm basically the chef around here.
And yet you burned this 20 minutes ago.
She beams,
How old are you?
She beams with a proud smile. 187 years old or something.
And the maid, and the dishwasher, and the laundry.
Should probably change that.
You could say that I'm a jack of all trades. Master of them, too.
That's not how
I
that
think the one
phrase
thing
goes.
you're not master at
I'll
is
say.
speaking.
What did you even put in this?
Is this food?
Trade secret.
Well, yeah, clearly it has meat in it because otherwise Zion would eat it. Yosemite flips to the next page. We do not, however, because it's 35 goddamn minutes. It's actually 32 minutes, but whatever.
Whatever. Fucking hell.
That's gonna be it for this episode, guys. We will come back next time and continue on in Flapjacks. Until then, the future is very uncertain.
Jack!
No. The future is very uncertain. But what is certain is that show is dead. And also, you guys are awesome. And there'll be more Two Bros Game Night tomorrow. See you then.
Goodbye, and it was a decent show.
It's still dead.